Hey, it's Anthony. Welcome back to Project Random. Today's video is going to be the first in a series called Life Tips. And what Life Tips is going to be is basically tips and hints that I'll give you that can hopefully improve various aspects of your life. I don't claim to be an expert in these subjects, but they're tips and hints that I've picked up from other people or have learned through my own experiences that I believe could help others, and so I want to share them. The first tip, or tips that I'm going to give, will be about electricity, and specifically increasing your electrical efficiency or decreasing your electrical usage at your house. This comes from my technical background, of course, so I figured it would be a good idea to start off with something that I'm familiar with and is important to me. So I've got a series of tips here, and I'm going to go through them one by one and explain the sort of difference that it'll be able to make to the average person in their life. I can't put a price on how much money you're going to save, but I can assure you that you're going to save a lot of money by implementing most, if not all, of these tips. So let's begin. The first tip that I have is one that you've definitely heard before, and it's to use these guys instead of incandescent light bulbs. These are compact fluorescents. They use about a quarter of the electricity of a traditional incandescent or light bulb. So it's a good idea if you have the sort of fixtures that can accommodate them, and you can get a lot of different fixture types that will, or a lot of different fluorescent bulbs that will fit in many different fixture types, so it shouldn't be much of an issue for you to get the type of bulb you need. So where possible, try and put these guys in. Or if you want to be really ambitious, you can try and replace them with LEDs. Now I don't have a real traditional fixture type LED, but I do have this guy, and it's like a halogen pot light that you may see. Some people have them over their counters or something like that. So basically it fits in one of these funny looking things, and there's 3 little LED light bulbs in there that you can see, and this guy uses 5 watts, and it gives about the same amount of light as a 50-watt halogen bulb. So it's pretty impressive the amount of energy that can be saved by switching to these. Also, as I'm sure most people have noticed, or maybe not, but if you stand underneath a halogen light bulb, there's a lot of heat. It's kind of very difficult to even get near those things, whereas this guy doesn't heat up at all. Like, it has cooling fins on it, like aluminum fancy cooling fins to keep it cool, but I don't know why they're there, because it doesn't get hot at all. It's way better. So that's, of course, why it's using less electricity, because it's not wasting the energy and turning it into heat. It's just making light. The second tip I have is to turn your thermostat down 1 degree. And 1 degree will make actually a huge difference. Of course, for a lot of people who don't have electric heat, it's not going to save you in electricity costs, but it will save you in furnace oil, or, well, you can't do it if you have a wood-burning stove, but it'll save you in furnace oil or natural gas or whatever you use to heat your home. It will save you in that. So that'll save you money. And I know a lot of people say, oh no, it's so cold in my house. Well, that moves into my second or third tip, and that's to wear layers in your house. Wear a sweatshirt, wear jeans instead of wearing, shorts and t-shirts and tank tops in the winter in your house. There's no need. Anytime you go outside, you've got to put more clothes on, so just, have a sweater on in the house. Who cares? It'll save. That way you won't feel cold when you turn your temperature down 1 degree. So, it's just a good idea. It'll save you money. Who doesn't like saving money? This one is one that a lot of people probably would be hesitant to do, but it's to take shorter showers, and not only shorter, but colder showers. And I know a lot of people like having nice warm showers because it's relaxing and all that sort of thing. But not only will you be saving water, which if you are on a water meter in your house, then that will save you more money. You'll be saving electricity or whatever you use to heat your water. If it's oil, then you'll be saving oil. But by using cooler water in the shower, you're actually doing a favor for your skin and your hair as well, because using hot water will dry out your skin and can damage your hair. So it's just better. Have colder, shorter showers. The less time you spend in hot water, the better. My next tip is to use, when you have to wash your clothes, make sure that you have a full load to do. Don't fill the washing machine up halfway and then do a load. Make sure it's full. You would be surprised how little it actually matters to sort colors, especially if you use the types of detergents that I guess are advertised as color preservers. I don't know what they're called, but ones that they advertise that you don't need to worry about the color being mixed. So you can do that and use cold water. Tide cold water or other cold water detergents work just as well as the hot water ones, and then you're not using any hot water, so there's so much money. Hang dry your clothes is the next tip. And a lot of people think, well, no, because then it's going to get all humid in the house. It doesn't evaporate that quickly. It's not going to increase the humidity in your house a whole lot, as long as your house is adequately ventilated. If you don't have a house that's well ventilated, then I wouldn't recommend doing this, because you don't want to get moisture in your walls and various places where it can cause mold. But if you've got an open room where you can hang your clothes, for example, in places that don't have that have unfinished ceilings in their basement, and you have piping hanging down, or even just on the roof rafters, or floor rafters, floor joists, hang your clothes off that and let them dry. And that way you don't need to use the extremely inefficient electrical dryer. My next tip is one that a lot of people probably wouldn't think to do, other than the fact that it gets annoying, but they wouldn't realize that it would save them energy, and that's to make sure your freezer doesn't get full of ice. And I don't mean like ice cube trays, I mean, you know how your freezer gets all frosted up after a while? Clean that out. Make sure that it's got the minimum amount of ice as possible, because that greatly increases the efficiency of your freezer, and it'll use a lot less electricity. And if you have problems with recurring frost buildup rather quickly, then you should probably check the seals on around the door of your freezer to make sure that they're still intact, because that's a sign that you've got other issues with your fridge. The next tip, well, my final two tips are pretty obvious, but they're ones that people seem to think it won't make a big difference, or, you know, I don't want to do that because it's somewhat inconvenient. And the whole premise of I don't want to do things because it's slightly inconvenient to me is ridiculous to me, because if people had that attitude throughout all of human history, we would never have gotten anywhere. So, in order to move forward and save you money, these two tips will help you. Flick off. If you're not in a room, you don't need a light on. Why are you lighting up a room? For the bugs? It doesn't make any sense. Turn the light off if you're not in the room. If you leave your house, turn off everything you possibly can. Turn off your television if you're not watching it. Turn off your computer if you're not using it, which is really good for your computer, by the way. It's terrible to leave it on. Especially laptops, because they just are prone to other issues based on their compact nature. So turn things off if you're not using them. And if it's light outside, don't turn on the lights in your house, because there's light coming in through the window. And the last one, which is going to save you the absolute most amount of money, is if you're leaving the house for the day to go to work or to school, or there is going to be a period of time when someone will not be home for several hours, turn down your heat. Turn it down. Way down. Not 1 degree, not 2 degrees. Turn it down 10 degrees. If it's in the winter, turn it down so that the heater is on like 5 or 10 degrees. Nobody's going to be there to make use of that heat, and you're just literally throwing away money every time you heat the house when you're not home. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit colder when you come back home, and it's, you know, 5 or 10 degrees below what you would actually want. But it doesn't take that long to heat a house. You just turn the thermostat back up, the heaters will turn on, and you'll be fine. Anyway, that is my last tip. Another one I could actually add that I just remembered would be to get a programmable thermostat. Basically what those are is ones that you can set to turn on and off at certain times of the day, so that it controls your heater. For example, with programmable thermostats, you could program it to turn on 15 minutes before you wake up in the morning, so that it brings the temperature back up to a comfortable level for when you're, you know, at your house for an hour in the morning getting ready to go for the day. And then afterward, when you leave, you can have it automatically turn that temperature back down, and then turn it back up just before you come home after work. And that is a very efficient way to do it, and it also lessens the inconvenience. So get a programmable thermostat and change out your light bulbs, use full loads of laundry, cold water, short cold showers, just, you know, Use your head and Google tips online. There's so many good tips online to save you money in your electrical bills. So you should really consider doing it, because I promise you it is no small amount. So that was my first life tips video. Let me know what you think, or if you have any other tips that you might want to add in terms of electrical efficiency. We'll see you guys next time when I will talk about something else that I don't know yet. Bye.